Frizzi owns the restaurant Il Posto on the corner of like 27th
26th
and Larimer. It's probably, as we get gripping and ripping in the spring and summer, it's one of the best patios for people watching, Aperol spritzes, casual eats, as well as if you're looking for a date night where you can kind of just peruse the neighborhood and enjoy the vibe. He's the king of it. He has the hot corner, as we've once called it. And so we're here to talk about everything, not just restaurant life, but also, what Frizzi has been up to. Before we get started, I do want to preface that we actually recorded with Frizzi in his previous home, not Italy, but previous home in the Highlands, the day the world shut down.
Yeah.
So he was going to be our last guest before everybody went inside. So we scrapped the episode because we couldn't talk about Il Posto being open or anything cool that was going on because nothing was going on. So we're excited to finally get you back on the pod. I know we've joked about it. We've eaten at your spot since then. But, thanks to our friends over at Seed & Smith, we are back in the saddle again.
Fantastic.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited to have you in my kitchen counter.
Fuck yeah, this is a great counter. We could do a lot of late nighting around this place.
I do. I do have a good crowd of people here sometimes. Not lately much. I've been working way too much. But.
Oh, stop it.
So what's been happening in your life since we last talked?
Oh, apocalypse, zombie. The Pentagon say we have UFOs, so a lot of things happen. It's actually a true story. Work. Corona was absolutely the most complicated time of my entire life. Thank you to my partner, we were able to stay open. Thank you to what we did, we were able to still doing it. It was probably, I call it my restaurant PhD. I learned a lot about myself, a lot about business, but it's still very hard because, as you know, after Corona, we still have Corona, but it's not clearly what it was.
Right.
After Corona, I think that everybody was thinking, all right, it's going to go crazy, it's going to be super busy, but what happened is everything went more expensive. Rent increases insane. People make pretty much the same money. No more unemployment. So it is challenging. We're doing well, but the fact is it's challenging. The business challenge is finding good people to work for you. It is a challenge because a lot of people after they shut down, they decide not to work in restaurants anymore. They decide to do Lyft or Uber Eats. They make the same money with less stress. A lot of people just decide not to do this. And so the pool of people of workers that are out there, but the quality people of workers, they're not out there as much. So the challenge is to entice the right people to work for you. The best part of us, I own Il Posto, Vero, and the fish market, is that we have a very good environment. I'm a good owner. I work. You see me all the time.
He's not a hands-on in the sense where he'll bother you all day, but he's hands-on in that he's always around if you have a question. I say that because I work from D.C. and I'm often eat his pies often, and occasionally will snag a little raw fish as well. So I can speak to that. You are a good boss.
That weekend I was working the oven of Vero, slaying pizza, because we have to move it. We have to move, I always train new people. I train it myself. I have a very good new chef at El Posto. He's amazing. And I just want to put a great crew for him to do the great job he needs. So right now, if anybody want to come over with us, it's a great environment. Another thing is I believe the city is on a transformation and it's becoming the fifth most expensive city in the country. So that's affect the living question of people here. And so I came here in 2004, so I completely saw a gigantic transformation. And this Corona completely throw everything out of the window, and we have to redesign ourselves, even as a humans. So I am actually exhausted because every day I have to figure it out. And I love my restaurants and my staff as much as last time I took a vacation was 2015. But first of all, I'm not complaining. I'm completely addicted and in love with what I do. It is the love of my life. I love it so much. And the best part of my business, the best part is talking to so many people and creating a great team. I love my staff. I love see them. I have people from Colombia and Venezuela and Maryland and California. Everyone has a story. Everybody come from a different background. And I know them first name, single one of them, and we talk about it. If they have a problem home, they talk to me first. They know that I will listen, and somebody's in trouble, we do the best we can to accommodate them as much as we can with the possibility that we have.
I love it. And, there's one thing that we usually talk about with our guests that I feel like we may have skipped over because we knew the story, but our listeners may not have because our last episode never aired. You mentioned you came here in 2004. What did you do in between that time? I mean, honestly, your accent, you're not from Mississippi or Alabama.
I'm from Milano.
Yeah, you're from Milano, Italy. What brought you not only stateside but also to Colorado?
Well, I have a beautiful story.
Tell it to us.
I
love
really do.
beautiful stories.
So if I want to interview myself, I'm a story of hope, probably. I was a chef in Italy. I was a young chef. My family are Larimer in Milano. And I was really, really, really bored about the scene in Milano and cooking. So I went to see my mentor was a chef at the Four Seasons in Milano. I said to him, hey, it was me and my friend Giuseppe. And we went there and we said, hey, we need something new. What you got? And he said to Giuseppe, I have a position in D.C. for a chef. First and foremost, I didn't speak any English at the time, and so Giuseppe did it. And Giuseppe said, well, I have my girlfriend and my family. I said, I'd go. And he said, you have to leave in 4 days. I was like, I go. So we called the CEO of the company. It was an Italian restaurant company called Beach, still alive. And I talked to that guy who was in Tokyo. He's a very flamboyant, yacht-holding Italian guy. Looked like one of those guys that only dates Russian supermodel. I don't think anymore because it's 85. Who knows? But so they flew me up to New York for 5 days for training. And I came to New York. It was December 93. It was freezing. And I remember they sent me a limo to pick me up, by the way. It was crazy. I go to the restaurant. I see the place. They send me to the hotel. This Park Hyatt between Madison and Park Avenue. I go there, and in this bathroom, there's this gigantic bathtub with a jacuzzi. So I took a bath, and I call my family from the phone inside the bathroom. I say, guess what I'm doing right now? I'm taking a bath, and I'm calling you from the fucking bath. And it was like,
Pretty Woman style.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy, bubbling shit. And then I came down, and I walk around in Midtown, and I walk around, and I see all these homeless. And I look up, because I see all these skyscrapers. We didn't have so many in Italy. And this guy said, don't look up. They know that you are a tourist. I understand what he said a little bit. And so I remember, I brought myself to a diner, and I had my first burger in a diner in Manhattan. And I remember when I paid the bill, 20% tips. In Italy, you don't really tip. I remember. So the girl gave me a smiley face on the ticket. I was like, oh, she's on me. She liked me already. I was like, what the fuck?
Sound like our friend Pat.
I fell in love really quickly. And that's it. And then I did a few training, and they sent me down to D.C. to this great restaurant. It was a big restaurant. It was next to the Capitol. I had 19 people in the kitchen. I speak only French and Spanish. And so I got to get my way around. And so I worked 1 month. They liked me. They gave me a really big contract. In 1993, they gave me $75,000 plus an apartment and 4 flight tickets. And I thought it was like,
in 93, that could buy a lot of that.
I thought
just came on the scene in the
no kidding. I was
You'd be up for days.
I thought it was banging. So, and then I got a car. The first car I got a Baron 300 convertible. It was burgundy and white leather interior. I paid $2,000 cash.
Just like John Boyd's car.
Dude, I drove around. It was great. And so then I worked for them, and then I decided to become a chef consultant because I didn't want to work for other people, but I didn't want to have my own restaurant. So I opened a restaurant. My first consulting restaurant was in Fayetteville, Arkansas. I opened a place called Il Bordino. It's still there. And I went down there. My English I was 96, was okay.
Their English isn't that good either. Yeah.
Dude, so I had this meeting. I'm meeting with 30 people staff, and I speak, and they look at me like, what the fuck did you say? And then they speak back. It's like, what the fuck did you say? It was crazy, but it was good. And then the owner was we became good friends. So happy with my work. He took me to the Ozark, and I learned fly fishing. And then consulting job. Then I moved to New York City. Consulting job. I opened a bunch of restaurants. I have a client with a restaurant in New Jersey, bunch of it, and they own Cucina Colore in Cherry Creek. They weren't doing very well Well, they weren't doing well, but they weren't very organized, so they sent me up here to consulting, and I came up here, I worked for them, and I remember it was August, it was 95 degrees, but I wasn't sweating, it was dry. In New York, it was soaking, and I was like, oh, I like this place. But I could tell also this place has a future. And then I met someone from Seattle, she moved to New York, then she made me move to Seattle, so hate that place. So, and then, like, terribly hate, like, fucking can't stand it. So anyway, I went up there, and then we got divorced. I came up down here, worked for these people, didn't like working for them for many reasons. I'm not going to elaborate. And then a friend of mine said to me, hey, here's a place in 17, here's a spot, you can rent it. And I said, I have no money. So I called my mother, and I said, I have no money. She said, nothing ever stopped you. No money doesn't mean anything to you. Just sign the lease. That's all I did. I had $13,000. That's what I had. This is it.
Sign it.
So I figured out. It took me 1 year. I signed the lease February 4th, 2006. I opened February 2nd, 2007. It was crazy. I was poor. I lost a home because I have to pay construction. I used to do cooking classes and cooking things. I find some investor. It was crazy. I was poor. I used to go to gym, sign up for a gym membership so I can steal toilet paper and shampoo. And then people feed me. I didn't eat for 2 days one time. It was hard. And then the first week when I opened, if I didn't do $21,000, I didn't make the second week. I did $21,300. So I make a second week.
What did you do with the $300?
You know what? No, I bought Xbox.
Nose candy?
Of course you
I'm not joking. I bought an
as American as they come.
No, you know what I did? You know why I did that? I need to do something for myself.
Of course.
Because to be honest with you, I do everything for a lot of people all the time. And I need to do something for me.
And what's an Xbox?
It was $300.
I can tell you exactly what it was.
Keeping the doors open.
So then got married again, and then all the stuff situation, and then got divorced because my wife was terrible, and then I'm not going to elaborate again, and then Ken Wolf, my business partner, say I have a location in downtown, in Rhino, you should come over, and I say, so I tried to put together a group of investors. I did not like anyone. And then he said to me, what about I become your investor and my partner? So we did. And then he asked me, you want to do Vero Central Market? And I did. And then he said, the fish market is doing dog shit. Can you take over? And I did. And then we're at the airport. And then...
You're at the airport?
Yeah, we have a little Central Market at the airport. He's licensing, so... Yeah.
So what... Hold on, though. But before you moved over to Rhino, what made you move from that little nice spot on 17th? Over to this area?
Well, because, to be honest with you, I thought that was too small, and also my divorce was terrible, and I met my wife there, my ex-wife there. I got to get the fuck out, and I need to create my new life. And also, I noticed...
You didn't try to sage... Did you try to sage it? You could have saged the building.
I need
we could have gotten that evil juju out of there.
I need more sage. I need a flamethrower. But, so what happened is, I also realized at 17, it was changing. Everybody was moving this way. And so Rhino is the way. But, and then Corona arrived, and the story is more complicated, and there are so many things that miracles happen to me. So even right now that is a struggling time, and I feel I'm stressed out as fuck. But the universe really likes me for some reason or the other. So,
I like it too.
Thank you. I'm trying to be a good person. I try the best I can, to be honest with you. Sometimes I succeed, sometimes I'm a dog shit, but I try my best.
You haven't pissed me off.
Hey, look, and sometimes it's kind of one of those things where, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
But how much I'm going to do this?
But you've been grinding, so
I've been
the
grinding.
art of how to grind. Whether
I do.
Be a restaurant of your own, and you take pride and solace in every aspect of it, from the napkins down, or whether it was working for somebody else's restaurant, you were there grinding.
Yeah, I always grind.
And it's for the last 2+ years, it's been a grind on the restaurant industry, And so one thing, especially for someone in your space that, thrives on interacting with other people, that loves talking and working with staff and guests, and you're usually plumb full on that patio serving up burrata and dankness.
Yeah.
So, it seems like you kind of got handcuffed a little bit, where the universe was handcuffing everybody.
Absolutely.
But you kind of created this motif or this like mindset for the neighborhood of it's going to be okay.